Today, I'm going to expose the 7 most common phrases women use when they're only after your money, and I'll break down the female psychology that makes these manipulative words sound completely harmless. By the end of this video, you'll recognize these tactics immediately and protect yourself from financial manipulation disguised as romance. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment if you've ever heard one of these phrases and felt like something wasn't quite right. Your story might help another man catch the warning signs before it's too late. Now, let's get into it. Phrase 1. I deserve nice things, don't I? Let's start with one of the most subtle yet effective phrases in the manipulation playbook. She'll say this with a sweet smile, maybe a playful tone, perhaps while scrolling through luxury boutiques online or window shopping at high-end stores. It sounds innocent enough, right? Just a woman expressing her desires. But here's what's really happening. This phrase is a guilt trap wrapped in self-justification. She's not just making a statement about her preferences. She's asking you a rhetorical question that only has one acceptable answer in her mind. If you say no or hesitate, you're essentially telling her she doesn't deserve nice things. And what kind of man tells a woman she doesn't deserve to be happy? The psychology behind this is guilt manipulation at its finest. She's cleverly linking her happiness directly to your financial contribution. She's redefining what love means in the relationship, transforming it from emotional connection into material provision. In her framework, if you truly cared about her, you'd prove it by paying for her lifestyle upgrades. Here's how it plays out in real life. She'll mention how hard she's been working lately, how stressed she's been, or how she never treats herself to anything special. Then comes the phrase, I've worked so hard this week, don't I deserve to treat myself to something nice? Now you're in a position where refusing makes you look unsupportive and cold, so you feel compelled to prove your affection by buying her that expensive handbag, those designer shoes, or that luxury spa package. And just like that, her deservedness became your financial responsibility. Phrase 2. You're so good with money, I wish I was like you. This one is particularly insidious because it comes disguised as a compliment. She's praising your financial skills, making you feel competent and capable. But there's always a hook buried in that compliment, and that hook is about to catch you. What she's really doing is playing up her financial helplessness to create a sense of dependency. By positioning herself as someone who's terrible with money, who can't budget, who doesn't understand investments or savings, she triggers your natural instinct to protect and support. And here's the critical part. She's not actually seeking your advice. She doesn't want you to teach her about budgeting or show her how to manage her finances better. She wants you to become her financial benefactor. This is what psychologists call strategic incompetence. It's when someone deliberately portrays themselves as incapable of something to avoid responsibility for it. In this case, she's portraying financial incompetence to make you feel obligated to handle her money problems, which really means paying for her expenses. Let me give you a concrete example. You're having a conversation about your savings goals or your investment strategy, and she responds with admiration. Wow, you're so good with money. I could never be like that. I'm terrible at saving. Maybe you could help me figure things out. Sounds reasonable, right? But fast forward a few weeks, and helping her figure things out has turned into you paying her rent, covering her credit card bills, or funding her shopping trips. You're not helping, you're subsidizing. And she planned it that way from the start. Phrase 3. I don't need much, just a little something would be nice. This phrase is the minimization technique in action. She uses it to soften the impact of what she's really asking for, making expensive requests feel small and reasonable. By saying, I don't need much, she creates a false sense of modesty that makes you lower your guard. After all, if she's only asking for something small, surely you can accommodate that, right? But here's the psychological trick. She's engaging in emotional devaluation. She downplays her wants so dramatically that when you do spend money, you feel like you're not spending as much as you actually are. It makes you comfortable with overindulging her because she's convinced you it's no big deal and she's not asking for much. The reality never matches the rhetoric. She'll say, "I don't need much, just a little necklace would be nice, nothing fancy." So you think you're buying a simple piece of jewelry, maybe something affordable and meaningful. Then you go shopping with her, and suddenly that little necklace is from Tiffany's or Cartier. That nothing fancy costs you several $1,000s, and if you hesitate or express surprise at the price, she'll act hurt. "But I said I didn't need much. This is just a small thing for me." The phrase trains you to spend more than you normally would while feeling good about it. It's like a slow escalation technique. Today it's a little necklace. Next month it's just a small weekend getaway. Then it becomes nothing major, just a little help with my car payment. Each time, the request gets bigger, but the framing stays the same. She doesn't need much, just a little something. And each time, you're spending more than you intended because she's convinced you it's minimal. Phrase 4. You're the only one who can take care of me. When you hear this phrase, you should hear alarm bells ringing. This is emotional dependence manipulation in its purest form. She's not just saying she needs you emotionally or values your presence in her life. She's explicitly stating that her well-being, her stability, and her happiness are entirely dependent on you, and more specifically, on your financial support. The psychology here is creating an emotional attachment where you feel exclusively responsible for her happiness and survival. She's making herself your burden in a way that feels like privilege. After all, being told you're the only one who can help someone sounds special, doesn't it? It makes you feel important, needed, irreplaceable. But what she's really doing is isolating you as her sole source of financial support. This phrase often comes during moments when she needs money. She'll say something like, "I'm really struggling right now, and you're the only one who can take care of me. Everyone else in my life has let me down, but I know you won't. Now you're trapped. If you refuse to help financially, you're joining the ranks of everyone who let her down. You're proving her trust in you was misplaced. The guilt is crushing. Or consider this scenario. She needs rent money, or her car needs repairs, or she has credit card debt. She comes to you with tears in her eyes and says, 'I don't know what I'd do without you. You're the only one who can take care of me right now.' She's not talking about emotional support. She's not asking you to listen to her problems or offer advice. She's talking about your wallet, and she's making it clear that opening it isn't optional if you care about her at all. Phrase 5. I can't imagine being with someone who doesn't support me. This phrase takes manipulation to another level, because it's a direct threat disguised as a relationship standard. She's essentially telling you that financial support isn't just appreciated, it's required. It's a non-negotiable condition of being in a relationship with her. And if you fail to meet that condition, she's implying the relationship itself is at risk. The psychology at work here is moral coercion. She's using the language of support very deliberately. Support is a positive word. Everyone wants to be supportive of their partner. But she's redefining what support means. In her framework, support doesn't mean being emotionally available, being a good listener, or being present during difficult times. Support means financial contribution. She's making money a moral obligation within the relationship. The genius of this phrase is how it attacks your character rather than making a direct request. She's not saying, "Can you buy me this?" She's saying, "A good partner would buy me this, and I can't be with someone who isn't a good partner." Now, it's not about whether you can afford it or whether you think it's reasonable. It's about whether you're the kind of man she can respect and stay with. Here's how it typically unfolds. Maybe you've declined to pay for something expensive, or you've suggested she contribute financially to a shared expense. Her response, "I can't imagine being with someone who doesn't support me. If you really cared about me, you'd want to help me out." That's what couples do. Notice how she's shifted the entire conversation. Your financial hesitation has become evidence that you don't care about her enough. Your budget concerns have become character flaws, and the only way to prove you're a good partner is to give her what she wants financially. Phrase 6. I know it's a lot, but I really need this right now. Unlike the previous phrases that minimize or disguise the request, this one takes a different approach. She acknowledges that what she's asking for is significant, but she immediately follows that acknowledgement with urgent need framing. She's admitting the expense is substantial, which gives her credibility. But then she's telling you that despite the cost, it's absolutely necessary right now. This is urgent need manipulation. The key psychological trigger is the word need. Human beings are hardwired to respond to genuine needs. When someone we care about needs something, we want to provide it. That's basic empathy and compassion. But she's exploiting that instinct by reframing wants as needs and adding artificial urgency to create pressure. The timing element is crucial here. By saying right now, she's cutting off your ability to think clearly about the request. She's not giving you time to consider whether it's truly necessary or whether there are alternatives. She's creating a crisis that demands immediate action, and that immediate action involves your money. Let me paint you a picture of how this works. She wants expensive concert tickets, a new laptop, or a designer dress. She comes to you and says, I know it's a lot of money, but I really need these shoes for the wedding next week. Or, I know the laptop is expensive, but I really need it for my work right now. The urgency makes you feel like you're solving a crisis rather than funding a want. You end up spending money you didn't plan to spend, possibly going into debt or dipping into savings, because you believe this was a genuine emergency need. Then, after you've made the purchase, you start noticing things. Those shoes she desperately needed for the wedding. She wears them once and they sit in her closet. That laptop she needed immediately for work. She mostly uses it to browse social media. The need was fabricated. The urgency was manufactured. But by the time you realize this, your money is gone, and she's already thinking about the next urgent need she can present to you. Phrase 7. I don't want to ask, but I really need your help. This is perhaps the most sophisticated manipulation technique on our list because it uses reverse psychology. She's framing the request as something she's reluctant to make, something that makes her uncomfortable. This immediately lowers your defensive barriers because she appears vulnerable and hesitant. You think she must really need help if she's swallowing her pride to ask for it. The psychology behind this is reverse manipulation combined with hero complex triggering. By pretending she doesn't want to ask, she makes you feel like helping her is truly special. She's not just taking from you, she's allowing you to be her hero, her savior, the one person she trusts enough to be vulnerable with. It transforms a financial transaction into an act of heroism in your mind. What makes this particularly effective is the false reluctance. She's acting like asking you for money is difficult for her, which makes you want to make it easier. You want to reassure her that it's okay to ask, that you're happy to help. You want to eliminate any discomfort she's feeling. So you not only give her what she asks for, you give it enthusiastically, making her feel like she's done nothing wrong. Here's a typical scenario. She sends you a text or approaches you looking uncomfortable and says, I really don't want to ask you this, but I need help with my rent this month. I hate asking, but you're the only person I can turn to. Everything about her demeanor and her words suggests she's embarrassed and reluctant, so your response is to reassure her, to tell her it's absolutely fine, and to immediately offer the money. You feel good about yourself for being there when she needed you, but here's what you missed. If she truly didn't want to ask, she wouldn't have asked. The reluctance is performance. She's creating a narrative where she's the vulnerable one and you're the strong protector, when in reality, she's executing a well-planned strategy to extract money from you while making you feel grateful for the opportunity to give it. And the most dangerous part, this phrase is repeatable. Once you've established that she can ask you for financial help when she's reluctant to do so, she'll use that reluctance again and again, each time making you feel like a hero for responding to her manufactured vulnerability. So there you have it. 7 phrases that sound innocent, caring, or even loving, but are actually carefully crafted manipulation tactics designed to access your wallet without your full awareness. She flatters your financial skills to create dependency. She minimizes her requests to make overspending feel reasonable. She makes herself entirely your responsibility. She turns support into a moral obligation you must meet. She creates urgent needs where none exist, and she performs reluctance to trigger your hero instincts. These phrases work because they exploit normal human psychology. Our desire to be generous, our instinct to help people we care about, and our need to feel valued and important. There's nothing wrong with supporting a partner or being generous in a relationship. But genuine partnership involves reciprocity, transparency, and mutual respect. Financial manipulation lacks all of these qualities. Thanks for watching. Stay aware, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.